quite an attractive hat that you have on there, girl.
I know. I don't think I'm using it properly.
I don't think so. I thought you were supposed to sit on those things. Hi, GenderBlenders.
Hi.
Welcome to week 161.
Yes.
And this is kind of a follow-on from last week's questions.
Yeah.
And it says, what do you expect from transition? Or did you expect from transition?
Mm-hmm.
How far do you want to go? Bottom surgery? Top surgery?
Etc.
Well, I took the etc. out.
Etc.
Yeah. When are you happy with yourself?
Mm.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of little interesting follow-ons from last week's topics.
Yeah, and they're interesting questions, things that you can really kind of dig into, because there's a lot of different things that occur in each one of those phases.
Yeah.
You know, for example, they're saying, what do you, or what did you expect out of transitioning? And, you know, if you've done your research and your education, then you know not to have great expectations,
Right.
but to allow those changes to just occur. Because there's so many variables out there, and you hear so many people out there saying, oh, well, if you're at this specific age, you can expect these things to occur, or over this specific age, then those things are going to be limited in occurrence. And you get over a specific age, those things aren't going to occur at all.
Right.
And well, we all know that's just not a fact, and it's not true.
That's absolutely correct.
The biggest thing about transitioning is to understand that there are always variable discoveries and new discoveries regarding transitioning, because transitioning is still a thing that's being discovered.
Yeah.
Transitioning and what can happen during transition are still things that are being looked at, and new things and trials are being implemented, which allow for further changes and stuff, regardless of age. And it really depends upon whom you go to and where you get your information. And that's one thing that we've always done, that you and I do, is we seek that other information, and we go out and we try it. Kind of like a Ghostbusters, or, you know, these other shows and stuff that are out there, reality shows, Mythbusters and stuff, yes. We go out and check and find out things that are available and what's going on. Myself being a bioscientist, as I am, a bioengineer, a lot of people downgrade, disgrade that, discount that. But a lot of new discoveries and stuff like that are coming from people who are out there doing the research for you, so that we can find out what's going on, where those changes occur, and are those changes common in a certain group?
Right.
Okay, and different age groups, and can you expect those things? Mindset plays a big role in allowing different things to occur to you in transitioning.
You know, when I first started transitioning, initially because of my age, I figured, why even bother with GCS?
Mm-hmm.
And then it started to become more and more and more important as you talk with people, and realize that, oh my gosh, no, I have to be me. I needed to be that girl.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that I would not get it if I had to do it again.
Yeah.
I'd have just immediately to say, okay, here's what we're going to do, and go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
It just became more and more and more important. You've got, of course, while you're going through your transition, you've got your name changed. You've got dealing with people, your family, your friends, your job.
Rejection
of you. People that are going to accept you. People that are going to reject you. And you're going to find that your set of friends probably changes somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are going to be some that don't accept you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be others that do.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, girl, What changes did you expect?
Well, in reality, I, throughout my entire life, wanted to see a lot of changes. Wanted to have myself corrected. Wanted to become me. As far as changes that I expected or didn't expect, I finally wanted to cast my own reflection, and that was what I hoped for eventually, to cast my own reflection in the mirror. Transitioning is something that you start with a purpose. It is not something you just start and say, okay, to say, I'm transitioning. If you're going to transition, then you're doing it for a reason, because you want to finally become and be accepted as being you, regardless of how far you go. I have heard hundreds upon hundreds of friends who have all said, well, I am as far as I need to go. I am as far as I want to go. I am happy with where I am, and I am satisfied with it. So the HRT is as far as I'm intending on going. And guess what? They now turned around and decided that they wanted to go further, wanted to get themselves corrected further, and they've done it, and they're getting themselves corrected. And now I'm hearing, not only did they go and get themselves corrected, but they went and got themselves half corrected, and they're going in for the second phase of having themselves corrected. I'm going, what? And I'm asking myself, why?
Yeah.
And they questioned me at first. I went and had myself corrected. I don't need to have a second surgery.
Right.
I am anatomically correct. They did everything at once. That's just, who don't in life want to be themselves?
Exactly.
I have people who are stuck with the transgender part and can't get beyond the word transgender. I am sitting there going, okay, well, I can't understand why this person is, transitioning. Mm-hmm. And then they stop transitioning, and tomorrow they're not transitioning. Then, 3 weeks down the road, they're transitioning again. That's what transgender people do.
Mm-hmm. They start and stop.
They start and they stop and they start and they stop, because a lot of that stuff is stuff that they do by choice, given that choice that they have in the morning when they wake up out of bed, what they feel like doing the night before. Transsexuals don't have that choice. We wake up, we sleep, we dream, we live 24/7.
Yeah.
Needing correction. In transition, how far do I want to go? Mm-hmm. I want to go wherever transitioning leads me. And since transitioning never stops, which all these individuals are finding out, that there is no point where they come to and they're stopped.
And they're happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it. Don't have to go any further.
Transitioning doesn't stop.
Ain't gonna work.
So how far do you want to go? If you're transitioning, you're going to keep transitioning. Because a natural, genetically correct girl never stops transitioning. So neither will you. You just started later than they did.
Well, we found that there's a lot of new techniques and things like that coming
and we
out.
can get it, and we can go into those things. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to be corrected, and I didn't know if I'd ever be able to afford it. But I was going to keep on going as far as I could, and as far as things would allow me to. And I laid a lot of myself and my transitioning in the hands of God, and in the hands of my belief, and others did the same thing, and that's what made things happen for me. As well as made more things happen for them. And a lot of things happen for you if you reach out and help others. Things come back to you. And that always does happen.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. Now, we've been finding, and we've been doing a lot more studying and stuff like that on things such as electrolysis and on lasers, on laser treatments, as well as on facelifts and on different types of permanent makeups and stuff like that are available out there. Who is good, who isn't. But most important is not to choose on who is good and who isn't, to choose and find out what's available out there, and then shoot for those availabilities. And the person whom in making your choices, who you're going to have do the work for you.
That's right.
Which I wish all of you would do that, and I express again that all of you should do that when it comes to seeking GCS gender corrective surgery. Do your research. don't settle for someone who's going to do the job halfway, or someone who tells you that you have to have something done that you don't have to have done prior to surgery.
Right.
Like having electrolysis done in your lower androgynous area. There are surgeons out there who say, no, we do the whole job. You don't have to do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And their price is better than anyone else's. And they do a good job, and they get a fantastic reputation. Seek out those surgeons.
Yeah. And the same is, true with the laser things. We're finding that, it used to be only the dark hairs would be taken care of.
Yeah.
And you couldn't shave for a while and things like that. And what we're finding is now they've got some different techniques.
The new laser techniques, yes.
Yeah.
We were just talking with a doctor named Dr. Gupta. And no, I'm not talking about Sanjay Gupta of CNN. Okay. But
maybe a relative.
It might be, yes, because they both are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, they sure look similar, don't they?
And but we just had a long 2-hour consultation with him. Because Stephanie and I are both looking at some other things that we would like to have done and further correction for ourselves. But we were curious as to what was available out there so that we could talk with and let other people know of the different things. They have new laser treatments out there in the color of your hair, dark hair, light hair. But that seems to be 95% of all hair, regardless of whether it is gray, blonde, or black.
Yeah.
Can all be removed. So you're still going to have 5, 6, 7 treatments that you have to go through.
That's true.
But
that's true.
It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. All except for possible 1 annual routine maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
It gets it. The other thing is called laser genesis, which is kind of a renewal of your whole skin and your skin pores and cells, which is meant for your face and for your neck. That's for females. Then they have what's called the Titan laser service, which is treatment of wrinkles by topically heating with the laser. The purpose of value of elevating your tissue's temperature, which helps the collagen and stuff like that, putting it back into your face, increases the circulation where it's been applied. And this is something that's they're finding very, very effective for the neck and for your full face, for your arms, and for your stomach as well, and getting rid of some of the bad tissues and skin area that you have. Another one is called limelight surgery, limelight laser treatment, and what that does is that helps get rid of the sun damage, rosacea. Some people have affected and have rosacea and or sun damage to their skin and stuff like that, and this helps get rid of that. Also varicose veins, and next to veins and stuff, the way they're using lasers to do that quite effectively, and it don't come back. It's very permanent. Yeah. And again, like I said, the reduction in skin redness and stuff like that. So they do like it. The other one is what's called a fractional or pearl fractional surgery, which is basically it's basically a skin peel. They basically take the upper 2 or 3 layers of skin off your face. You have to stay in the dark for a while, for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and then you have to wear sunblock in that for a while, heavily, but basically that totally rebuilds your skin. Of course, then they have also they just discussed with us the things called facelifts and mini facelifts and stuff like that they can do. The ways that they go in and can do different rhinoplasties, which is nose surgeries, chin surgeries, brow surgeries, and stuff like that to correct the discrepancies that you have in your face. These are all things that we've been looking into. So we're still going to do more research and stuff on them. I think you also looked up some possibilities, and we're looking up some things on
permanent makeup.
And stuff. You want to tell them a little bit about it?
There's a lot of good things in terms of being able to now give. It's sort of like a light tattoo kind of a thing, but you have to be careful as to who's doing it and what's going on. And how deep they go and things like that, because it can fade a little bit. But, like for eyebrows, eyelashes, or eyeliner, I mean, for permanent lipstick.
Shadowing.
Eyeshadow, areola improvements if you need them and things like that. All different kinds of things that are possible with permanent makeup techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things out there. So, geez, when are you happy with yourself? Transition's ongoing, isn't it?
Transition is. And it is strictly and totally up to the individual. I don't listen when somebody tells me, oh, I've gone as far as I'm going to go. I'm happy, and I don't think I'm going to go any further, and now I'm going to reach out to help others. Plain and simple, that's not going to happen. There are a lot of transsexuals out there who develop bipolarism. And that's because they live a long life of rejection and not being able to be who they are.
Okay.
And there was a huge suicide rate there. And plain and simple, we need to be able to reach out and help those others so that they can afford to get some of their corrections, so they can afford to start their transitioning, so that they can afford to be understood, and we can help them and educate their parents so that they see less and less rejection.
That's right.
Not only their friends and the people around them, but by their family as well.
That's right.
Because it's based on understanding, and then it's based on the individual being able to accept that transitioning is not an easy road path at first to get started on.
Yep.
But it does work for you, and it will work for you. And just get the information you need to do your homework. Go seek out a specialist who will work with you so that you can achieve all that transitioning can achieve for you.
That's right.
There should not be any limitations, nor should there be anyone out there holding up a sign and saying, stop here. It's just not true. Transitioning doesn't see any barriers because transition continues on throughout your whole life. So don't stop. Don't ever think that you're going to stop. You've gone as far as you're going to go.
Because that's never going to happen.
Girls don't stop transitioning.
It's just not going to happen.
Genetically correct girls or otherwise. So,
I think we pretty well covered that topic.
Yeah.
Next week.
My name's Stephanie.
I'm Stephanie.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.